This year, I want to be more intentional about how I communicate with you guys. I am very grateful for the support you guys give me, the love, it's definitely felt. And I wouldn't be here without y'all. And so I'm learning how to open up different sides of myself. This year, I'm going to share the more introspective side of myself with you guys on these internets. I think I've discovered that one thing that I've learned about myself, especially over the last couple years, is just my default. It's easier for me to open up when I'm behind a guitar or any kind of musical instrument, because that's the side that I have shared the most with most people in my life. It's where a lot of my confidence comes from, and there's a side of me that's more introspective that more so comes out when I'm around the people that I'm the safest around. And so this year I want to share more of that side with y'all, because I want to also I'm working on always growing my inner confidence. I think we all should be doing that and kind of figuring out what makes us tick, how do we continue to grow, but then also how do we learn to love ourselves where we are at. I consider myself to be a perfectionist, and I've recognized just the more that I've sat down and had more time to myself over the last couple of years, that I will use my more extroverted tendencies to communicate, and therefore whenever we do show announcements or whenever I do that kind of stuff, it's like always the like, hey guys, I've got this exciting thing coming up and I want you guys to know, because I think that's the voice that I've tuned the most, is like the excited, full of life, and that's also come at the expense of me sharing the more vulnerable side of me. And one of the reasons that I want to lean more into the introspective and more toned down version of me is because that version is really where I spend is where I learn the most about life. I feel like it's hard to learn about life and the way you work as a person if the only version of yourself that you allow people to see is the version of yourself that is the most outgoing. Because oftentimes, at least for me, the moments where I'm the quietest are when I'm best able to hear what's going on in my life, what I need to address in my life, what I'm doing well in my life. That side of me comes out when I sit down and I'm quiet. It doesn't come out when I'm being loud or when I'm, you know what I mean? Like all of those sides of me. And so this year, I'm very committed to sharing that more introspective side of myself, because I believe that you guys deserve to see that side of me. And I'm on this journey to not be afraid to share all sides of me. It starts with the song "Feels Like Rain." Going back to the more introspective side of myself and the more reserved side of me. There's a side of myself that is more sensual that I don't share online, just because if you aren't aware, I used to work as a worship leader. I've been involved in the church for a while, and one of the things that I've been tackling, especially over the last couple of years, more so than I have any other time in my life, is this idea that certain things are reserved for certain moments. And this is where I might get in trouble with people that are like, yo, aren't you someone that believes in God, X, Y, and Z? And it's like, yeah, I do believe that, and I do lean into that. Also, there's a side of me that does enjoy the connection that comes from that. And so that side of me often is only reserved for my relationships and the people that I'm with, because I don't feel, I always try to find and balance the two sides of the coin for myself, which is the first side of it is I do believe that there are certain things that you need to reserve for you and people that are super close to you, that aren't just for public consumption, right? I need to keep some stuff for myself because I give so much of myself out through the music that I write. There's stories and there's stories and life experiences that I've had that I will share in the most vulnerable way through my songwriting. And so that's one of the reasons that I believe in kind of keeping certain things to myself. And then the other side of it was fear. I think when you come from a background of like, I'm a PK, and I say this with like my dad, it's funny because like as I'm sharing this, I'm also aware like my parents are going to see this, but it's important for me to be able to engage and share that more introspective side of me, and more even that central side of me, because that also allows me to just be human. I think we all deserve to be human, and I think we all deserve the opportunity to live and enjoy life and enjoy the connections that come from that moment. Enjoy the beauty and the learnings that come from that. And so for me this year, I'm committed to like sharing all aspects of myself. And that includes the sensual side, that includes the introspective side, that includes the super energetic, super excited for life and all that life has to offer side of me. I think those are all different sides of the same person. It's one person. It was funny because as I've been talking through my vocal coach, I'm very grateful for having a vocal coach that not only deals with like the instrument that is the vocal cords, right, but also deals with the person, because the way that he has taught me and the way that we've interacted is he focuses on the human first, because your body, it's not just my understanding of being a vocalist was always limited because I always thought it was just what happens here. And it's through our interaction and me taking these vocal lessons over the last like 2 or so years that he has helped reframe how I look at the voice as an instrument, right? So I now take very intentional steps to, whenever we have shows coming up or when I have public performances where I know I'm going to be heavily reliant on my voice, the days before, I do as much as I can to make sure that it's a stress-free environment, or that I'm in a stress-free environment. I do as much as I can to make sure that like I'm not drinking as much, because that has a certain amount of effect on your voice, and not only just the like that aspect of it, but the long-term ramifications of it. And it's that thing of like, through his lessons and his coaching, he's taught me that your body, not only when you're singing from a place of like you're super stressed and you're super tense, your body keeps all that tension inside. And so when you go to try and sing and release like all of that energy out, you're not able to do so as to the best of your ability, because your body's trapped all of this stress and this tension inside. And so now you're essentially fighting against the tension that's in your body and what you're trying to release from like your inner soul. And so for me, that's been one of the things that I've learned, and I'm super grateful for the other things that we talk about and kind of the coaching that he gives me, because it's through all of those teachings and that guidance, because I'm a person that's really big on, for me, I know that for me to get to the goal that I have for my life, and whether it be for my music career, for the photography or the videography that I'm a big believer in having mentors that not only have either been there, but they've had their own like journeys, and they've been able to pinpoint and show you things that they've learned on their journey. I don't believe that I know everything, and I will never be one to claim that I know everything, right? And so because I know where my knowledge is limited and my experience is limited, I value being able to learn from people that have gone before me. And so those are some of the things that I'm going to share on this year, about things where there would be like conversations, and what stands out in those conversations of like, oh man, like I want other people to hear this, because I think it'll be helpful for everyone to know. That is my goal for this year. And it's also going to be challenging, because I have to tackle in this goal, I have to tackle my greatest fear, which is the fear of sharing what all outside of song form, because you can do like, that's a super easy to hide behind a clever lyric or a really beautiful melodic part. But it's super hard for me, especially, to get in front of a camera and be like, okay, I'm not being excited. I'm not being overly excited. I'm just going to share what I'm thinking and what I'm going through, because I struggle to believe at points that I have something of value. And that's something that through therapy, through my vocal coach, through other people in my life, my close friends, Rachel, my brother, my homie Silas, Alan for President, like those are things that they have really done a phenomenal job of like building me up in and being like, no, dude, there are moments where you share insight or you'll say a thing that stands out and it makes us think twice about what we were about to do or what have you. And for me, I struggle with sharing what I've experienced, because there's this fear that I know one of my fears is I don't ever want to be perceived as cocky. I appreciate people that are confident. I struggle with seeing people that are cocky, because of when you're overly cocky, my experience has been that the people that operate from that place tend to take advantage of other people. And so I never want to come across as someone that is kind of speaking from a place of like, I know more than you, or I'm this X, Y, and Z. Now, I want to share my insights and the things that I've learned on my journey to help someone, whether it be someone that's, okay, I just turned 32. I'm really excited about being 32 and what I've learned in life, but there's someone that might be 22 that is like, okay, cool, like I wonder what the 32-year-old version of myself is thinking at this particular moment, or what might he be going, or what might he encounter on this journey. And so that's all I really have to say about that. If you guys don't mind, I know this was a little bit more of a long-winded video, but if you guys don't mind, I'd appreciate your support on Patreon. I'm really, really excited. I shared Feels Like Rain on there on Monday, and I'm really, really proud of that song. And I'm excited to work. I'm in the studio right now, working on it, recording it. It's a different side of me that I have not shared all that often, because we all have fears and we're all tackling them. Or the hope is that we all get to a point where we can tackle them. I know for me, I have gotten to that point, and I'm excited that I am tackling those fears. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all and be like, it's super easy. It's not. It scares the living daylights out of me, because it's allowing myself to say some of the things that I've, whether that be different environments have programmed me to not lean into or share, and whatever stipulations that come with that. It's just I'm allowing myself this year especially to use those places, to use music as a release, especially for that stuff, because I am on a journey just like all of y'all are, and one day I hope to find the love of my life. One day I hope to find to be able to share those special moments. And so I'm going to make a more concerted effort to document those songs and to just be more open about it, because I think we're all grown here. And it feels really dumb for me that I've allowed the opinions of others and the fear of other people's perception to impact my day-to-day. And so from that, I'm taking that power back, and I'm not gonna get it right the entire way. And I think that's part of it that's part of the thing that I'm wrestling with being a creative, in the sense that the more I think about it, I want to share those sides, but I'm afraid of the ramifications. But the older I get, the more I realize, like, typically the people that would have any objections to that, or the people that always have something to say, most of the time they're not coming to your aid to help you. They're more content being outside observers and commenters, and spectators, but they're not in the trenches with you. They're not in the arena with you tackling all those different things. And so thank you for watching this video. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me talk. And I'm excited to share more of what makes me tick, to share more of music that's different, that shares a different side of myself. I'm excited to share all the challenges, all the things that I'm learning along the way with you guys. And I hope that you guys join me on this journey. again, shameless plug for the Patreon, because I will have some stuff that I'll post on there, but also keep tuned to the YouTube, because this is where most of this is going to live. And so, yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. Deuces.